just work with what you have, right? And I also tell the local government unit, use process. When it comes to take the tourists into the town's skills, with the fishing town, down to make the local escabeche, right? Street food, but also when it comes to the market experience. You have to take care of your public markets. Because taking care of the public markets and not the private malls shows what the government and the state and the people value, right? And if you treat your public markets terribly, then it's a judgment call on the way that the government treats the local people as well, right? And you also have to be creative. As sad is the Philippine town that does not have handicrafts. It shows that there's no creativity going on in your town. And also I warned about selling their heritage. It's not good to have too many antique stores in your town. Because although it may seem like a really good way to make money, it may seem attractive, your heritage is going to go to somebody else's living room in somebody else's country, right? Pray. What do I mean by pray? Not necessarily only the institutions that you know, the churches. But every city needs a soul. Every city needs a temple. If you're going to go to Istanbul, you're going to visit Hagia Sophia. If you're going to go to Hong Kong, you go to IFC. Which is a temple of sorts. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to be new. It could also be old. You can also look into it in cemeteries. You can also look into it in education systems. And intangible souls. Your massage therapy, your ghost stories, there's more, and even education. Manila in the Philippines is now known as one place where many people in Asia come to learn English. And that's another part of a person's soul, what you can teach other people. So that student, I tell the local government, is not only a student in town, that student is also a tourist. And as I said, you can fake it. Like there's a town in Ilocos Norte where President Marcos is from. There's no fiesta there that anybody knows. So what the daughter did, Amy Marcos, who's now back in power, surprise, surprise, came up with her own festival. So to honor the Virgin Mary, Himala means miracle, she decided to hold a contemporary festival where they built a spaceship that leads you to heaven. And then they have a concert all around that spaceship and they set it on fire at the end of the night. Which, it's a modern tradition, but if you go there, all the town people are really happy. This is not made for tourists. This is actually made for the locals, and the tourists actually come in to watch, right? And then finally, live. And I'm talking, these are the basics. Infrastructure. You have to look at your city as theater. Your opening act, your airport. And sadly, Manila is the worst opening act. But truth be told, every other airport in the Philippines is great. It's just Manila's that sucks. And sadly, we are judged by Manila. Whether that be your hotels, the quality of hotels, your hotel classification board, the vistas of your city, protecting your heritage skylines and your public spaces. Because you have to protect public spaces. Too many malls in your city show that the people are separated from one another. You have to treat a public space just as well as you do a private space. Because it shows the people how that people in that town respect one another. And also honor your heritage buildings, because that's like your grandmother. Any city that tears down their building shows that they aren't validating their right to exist. So I always tell them to also honor the environment around your town. Not only should it stop in the city, but everything that's around the city, the cleanliness of your rivers, the cleanliness of your public spaces, the cleanliness of the little details in between your monuments. And I always tell them, work with what you have. Don't build anything for tourists. Build it for your people. Because you're better off, instead of making a dolphin show or some amusement park, spend that money on better street lamps. Spend that money on a better promenade for the people and better street benches. Build it and they will come. Because I believe that tourism is like theater. You have to have a script. You have to point out your point of interest, and that is your script, so to speak. You have to create a flow for that experience, the airport to your hotel, to your first restaurant. Make sure that these experiences flow to each other seamlessly. Make that script available to the people through sales. And then you have to sell it to your target audience. But most importantly, I tell them, work with what you have. Because people can smell inauthenticity in a second. And I hope I made sense. And thank you very much for your patience.